All right, this is just going to be a quick update on the Kawasaki KDX 200. Just want to put a video out and let everybody know we're still moving forward on it. Things got a little slow. I had some stuff going on, and it's the holidays and whatnot. So anyway, we are moving forward. I'm just going to kind of piece a couple videos together. I have a quick video on removing the steering stem and a quick video on the repair for that case. We had a broken piece for where the chain guard goes. So anyway, that's what this video is. Again, quick update, nothing too exciting, but just wanted to let you guys know we're still moving forward on this project. All right, tonight I'm going to try to get this steering stem off the frame. I'm taking it off for a couple of reasons. One, we're going to be painting the frame, obviously, so I'd rather have this off, sandblast this separately and paint that. Also, it's actually doesn't feel bad. It's not like it's loose or anything. It's a little stiff when you try to turn it, but there's a couple bearings in here, so at the very least I want to inspect them, clean them up, and if they're in good shape, we'll re-grease them. So yeah, so there's a couple bearings in there, a race on each end, I believe, and I think there's a couple seals. So anyway, there's a special tool for this. You got to get this nut off on top. You can see it's got these notches in here. So I don't want to spend the 30 bucks on a tool if I don't have to. I'm all for investing in tools, but this KDX is going to start adding up quick. So rather spend the 30 bucks someplace else right now. So my idea is to take a couple pieces of this square stock, keyway stock, and get it into these grooves. I'll get, a piece, two pieces across from each other. Then the idea is to get my vice grips around there or a pipe wrench and hopefully bust that free. I've been spraying PB Blaster down there for a couple days, so hopefully that freed anything up that was corroded in there. So anyway, I'm going to get that set up and we'll see if it works. All right, so far so good. We got the vice grips on there. That's staying so far. So I'm going to give this give it a try. All right, looks like it broke free. All right, there's the nut. That's just like a dust cap. I think this is that seal. Yep, there's the seal, and there's the bearing right underneath it. And then, of course, there's a race inside of there. And there's the bottom bearing. Same thing, there's a seal or a cap, whatever you want to call it, on the bottom. Yeah, assuming another race on the bottom. And, of course, there is. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and slide those parts back on here, put the nut back on, set this aside for now. I'm going to inspect these bearings. If they're good, we'll clean them, we'll repack them with grease. Kind of like a bearing you would have on the front of your car, the older style cars. So you just got to clean these out and you just work the grease into the rollers. So hopefully they're in good shape and we don't have to try to get these off. All right, back working on the KDX 200 tonight. Working on this case. I degreased it last night. Probably doesn't look so great, but it's definitely a lot cleaner than it was, so we can do a little bit of work on it. Tonight I'm working on this spot here. This is one of the spots that holds on the chain guard. Take this guy out. This is the other one. This one's fine. This one here was broke. I'll throw in a clip real quick of how I got it to that point, but basically that's what was on there. Looked a little different than that because I got it all cut and cleaned up now, but basically this part here broke off, so there's really nothing to catch the screw anymore. This is all solid aluminum, so I got a lot to work with. So obviously I cut this guy off, I cleaned it all up, got the paint off, and I made myself a new one of these. That's this guy here. I flattened it a little bit on this side so I can get it pretty close to this piece here. So that's pretty much kind of what it looked like before, I guess. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to JB weld this on here. And there's some people out there that'll say, oh, that stuff don't work, it don't hold. JB weld works great. You know, if you prep right and you use it properly to do the right thing, it works wonders. When I get this on here, I have confidence this thing will be on there for years and years to come. Probably last as long as the bike will. So anyway, I got this guy cleaned up. I'm going to clean it up with a little bit of brake clean, a little bit of denatured alcohol. Make sure we got a good clean surface. I'm going to drill a few holes in here, and I'm going to drill a few holes on the bottom of this just to give the epoxy a place to kind of seep into. The more surface area you get the epoxy on, the better it's going to hold. And when I put this on here, so I'm going to set some epoxy on here, and I'm going to set this guy down. What I'm not going to do is, when I put the epoxy on, is to squish that all the way down super tight, because you're going to squeeze out most of the epoxy, and you're not really going to have much that's really grabbing onto it. We're also going to have some back here, of course. So like I was saying, we're actually going to leave a little space when we push that down, something like that. Maybe not quite that much. About the I don't know, the thickness of a piece of paper, maybe a couple pieces of paper. So anyway, I'm going to let that harden up. I think it takes 5 to 6 hours to harden, and I think 24 hours to cure. Once that sits, then what we'll do is we'll get some more epoxy. We'll do a second run of it, and we'll get it into the crevices better. And then we'll sand it all out, kind of mold it into one, and hopefully it'll look good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to drill the top of this later, and we're going to thread it to the proper threads. And anyway, that's the idea. I think it's going to work well. So I'm going to go ahead, clean this up a little bit more, and give it a go. Obviously, when you're doing this, whenever you're drilling anything on a case like this, make sure you're not drilling so much that you're drilling all the way through. I know that's common sense, but some areas are thinner than others. And again, this is just giving a place for the epoxy to seep into. Again, the more surface area, the better. All right, you're going to use this stuff in equal amounts. Keep it separate till you're ready to mix it, because as soon as you start mixing, it starts to harden right away. You have time to work with it, but not that much. All right, so I'm going to start mixing it. Then I'm going to grab this guy. We're going to set him in place. All right, if you have them, I recommend rubber gloves for a couple reasons. One, the epoxy is tough to get off if you get it on your hands. And secondly, you don't really want to get the oils from your hands on anything you're trying to epoxy. So gloves are recommended. You got to mix this stuff thoroughly. Again, you're working against the clock too, so try to work as fast as you can. Try to wipe as much excess off as you can right now. That's that much less you gotta sand off later. Alright, looks like it's sitting on there pretty straight. So we got to let this cure, well, actually set for 5 to 6 hours. Cure, it says 15 to 24 hours. And I'm not going to rush it. I want to give it as much time as possible. Then we'll sand it up. Whatever voids we still have, I'll do another coat, sand it down. And then I'm going to sandblast this whole thing, prime it, and paint it. And then we'll tap that guy out, and hopefully we'll be in good shape. All right, so that's pretty much the end result. I still have to drill and tap this for the screw bolt. But other than that, it's pretty much done. This whole thing's going to be sandblasted and painted. Once it's all painted, this will blend in even more. But that's pretty much a permanent repair. That's not going anywhere. You'd have to whack that pretty hard in order for that to break again. So, again, once it's all painted up, it should look pretty good. I don't even know if most people would even notice. So, anyway, that's that. That's the piece of aluminum stock that I started with to make that tip. Unfortunately, I had to buy a 3-foot piece just for that little 1-inch piece, but I'll use it somewhere down the road for another repair or who knows what. But yeah, so that's it. I'm pretty much going to end the video there. I just wanted to do a quick update. It's like the 15th of December, 2020, so obviously it's close to Christmas. Been busy with shopping, decorating, work, and everything else. So I just want to put a quick video out there, let you guys know we're still moving forward with the KDX. Once the holidays settle down, we'll be out here pushing hard on it. So that's it for now. Look out for more videos coming up. Like I said, it might be another week or so before I get one out, but they'll definitely be coming.